Hey, Photo 2. I'm out by the lakes that I live by. And I'm here about 10 minutes before golden hour. All right, and I've got tripod and I got the 35 and I have the 90D, but we have these same settings in our T7s as well. So if I hit menu and then it is the second tab over and where it says exposure compensation, auto exposure bracketing, if I select, if I go to the right, you'll see that it's going to jump in steps, how bright and how dark the other two pictures are going to be. So this is one step, two step. So I'm going to start with 2 steps and just say set OK. Okay, and then when I look through my viewfinder, I just have to make sure that it is metered. And when I take 3 pictures, it will take one overexposed, underexposed. So do it again. Take 1, 2, 3. And then when I look at these, you have overexposed, underexposed, correctly exposed. And those are the ones. And you can see that I've been doing this for a while now, and we get one of each. So we'll see what I get in Lightroom. 2 albums, one called Landscapes and one called Moon, because I did different times of the day. And then I went to, once I made that album, I went to File and Add Photos, and I added the photos that I took. So I was only out for maybe 15 minutes last night. I went at golden hour. I set up maybe like 5 minutes before golden hour, and then I was only out there. It wasn't that long. It felt like really long because you're all by yourself. And it was really cold last night, but I had to get back and make dinner for my kids. So, and then after the sunset, I would say maybe like, it was like probably 20 minutes after the sunset, I looked at my Magic app, and I also used an app called Sky View Light, and it tells you where the moon was, because the best time to get the moon is right after sunset, because it's closest to the earth. It's going to be the biggest, versus, you know, it's going to get higher in the sky and farther away as time travels overnight. So that's the time to do it. So I just wanted to show you that on my iPhone, I took these 2 pictures in the exact same spot where I took it. Now notice it looks like it's day, but if you look at it, it's like people's lights are on and it's just really grainy. Here we can zoom in. So these are the 2 I took with my iPhone, and you can see again that you probably can't tell it's night, but it was really, really dark. I could hardly see anything. I should have brought a flashlight to look at my camera. Okay, but these are the ones that I took with my larger lens. So I used the 70 to 200 millimeter lens. And so, device matters. I've never taken such great pictures of a moon before without, and some of them you can tell are a little bit more sharper than other ones. I was trying the different filters and different settings on the lens. But again, I was only out there for like 10 minutes, just capturing just to see what I would get after doing that. But again, this is your iPhone, what the moon looks like with your iPhone versus you have a really nice lens on your camera. Okay, so let's look at the landscapes, and let's talk about merging. Okay, so I took 208 pictures, and again, let's look at the info. So first I started off with the 35 millimeter lens, but notice my f-stop was 3.5. And I wasn't getting a really deep depth of field. So eventually I changed it to an f-stop of like f11. We'll see that somewhere. I started playing around with the aperture eventually. So I took a ton of shots, and I walked around this lake that's by my house that I would walk to a lot during COVID when I was all by myself. So now we're at an f22. So I have a very deep depth of focus. And we can see that I bracketed the shot, so I have 1. It automatically changed the shutter speed, so it's the same aperture, and then we see 3 with 3 different so we know these were bracketed. So I can check the info, again, the eye down here, and I know that these 3 can be used to merge together to get HDR. So I'm going to select the first one, and I'm going to hold shift and select the other 2. So these 3 are selected. I know that they are mixed shutter speeds. So I'm going to right click and say photo merge and then HDR merge. So high definition range merge. And it will preview it. And I have auto align selected and apply auto settings selected. Okay, now the other thing it's going to ask you is if you want to de-ghost. So the thing that happens is that when you get like really, I only have like 1 step below and 1 step above, but when you have really bright and really dark, you get this like weird, it looks like ghosting. It almost looks like white outlines on things. So you can de-ghost with the slider. And again, this could be just like seeing, you know, what looks the best with deghosting. So I would say low deghosting, and then it will show, if you select show deghosting overlay, this is the mask that it creates when it sees that, oh, it's getting kind of white in some areas, and it will just mask that out automatically. Okay, so when I hit merge, it's going to take those 3 photos that I selected, and it's going to turn it into a DNG file, and it just put it some random place. I guess should be a DNG. I don't know what happened to it. Is this it? No. Is this it? It will be called a DNG. I don't know. I don't know why I put it somewhere else, but you might have to find it. I don't know if it's at the end of the album. Oh, there it is. It's at the end of the album. It will throw it to the end of the album. Okay, so notice that it's a DNG file now, and it says 4. So it took those 2 and it merged it together. So that is the after of the merge versus we had. You can also say you are like, just kidding. You can right click and you can say unstack group, and it will say, are you sure? Yes, I want to unstack them, and then it put them back, you know, in place again. I want to say that it still keeps your last, it does. So it's not stacked. This is the DNG, and the other originals were up there. Very cool, right? That's it. So notice that I just kind of played, I was out there and I just played around with bracketing. I started with 1 step, 2 step. Notice that I started like 5 to 10 minutes before golden hour. And as the time changed, look at the difference in the clouds, the colors in the clouds. And I was only out there for the first 10 minutes of golden hour. It got really pretty blue and purples by the end of it. So, and you can see that the light changes on the landscape. It was really pretty. You guys live in a beautiful area. You should go photograph it.